everyone, is Nomsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today, Carol Ann Cooper. How you doing, Carol Ann?
Not too bad, not too bad. Apart from a tooth that's playing up, but other than that, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Need
bouncing
to,
along. Yeah.
you need to go to that place. It's called the
The
dentist.
dentist. Yes.
Make you feel better. So today we're talking about goals, 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 goals. Your goals are waiting for you to start. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Please explain to our audience, Carol Ann, why you chose this topic and how we can help them moving forward.
Yeah, thank you. I just love the spin on the wording. When I read it, it's like your goals are waiting for you to start. I've never looked at it in that way. And I just thought, oh, it's like these entities that are hanging around waiting for me to do something. And it's interesting perspective. And so it is like, well, what stops you getting started? So it is really about me getting started. It's about you getting started and therefore taking that first action towards actually those goals coming into some form of reality and success. And so that's what intrigued me about it. I just thought, oh, okay. I love that thought that they're there, they're waiting. And it's down to me, which I get, you know anyway that it's down to you, because unless you take action, nothing's going to happen. Like you were saying there, Nom, so I'm waiting. Well, you could carry on waiting for the rest of your life, but nothing is going to happen unless you do something, unless you take some action. So it's like, okay, so what are the actions? How can we look at this and get you started? Get those goals moving so that they're not just hanging around and waiting.
Waiting for me to start. I'm still making my mind goals, and my mind doesn't actually allow me. There's this fear that I'm waiting for the perfect time, and that perfect time, I've got to do this, I've got to lose weight. Come on, I've got to do so many things, my goals. You can wait there.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with you, Carol, and I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we actually wait for that perfect time, and we wait for the permission for just while our goals are waiting there to be like, you know what, this is not a perfect time for me to apply for that promotion. I know what I want, and I know I need to write my CV. I need to do so many things, but it's not really, the time is not perfect at the moment. It's going to be perfect maybe next month. And also I need to lose weight as well. So many things that I need to do before I get started, or I need permission to myself, or permission to friends, or permission to family to see if they believe in me, if I can really do this. I think we make so many excuses when it comes to reaching our goals. And sometimes I think it's fear, or sometimes is not believing in ourselves that we are actually capable of doing the things that we want to do. And that's when you will need, or sometimes we need people to affirm that we are good enough. I used to be like that. That used to be my better habit. Like I used to be really, if people are not on my side, I'll be like wondering and winding myself up. Why can't they get me? Why can't they understand this is what I want? Until I actually realize that they cannot get what I want, because that thing is what my mind and my heart want. It's my desires. It's something that I want to achieve, not they want to achieve. So for them, in order for them to connect, they need to actually understand what I want to do. Actually, they need to see me getting on with it and seeing that I'm getting on and seeing the products, and then they can follow. Because sometimes it can be really difficult when somebody explaining, if the vision is not clear, it can be really difficult. Or sometimes if the vision is clear, we still want people to affirm that our vision is good enough. But the thing is, if you have your vision, you have your dreams, your goals that you've written down, just find someone that can actually hold you accountable, hold yourself accountable, and just do the things that you want to do. There is no such thing as a perfect time. I've seen myself, when it comes to dating, people say, I'm waiting for a perfect time. There is no such thing as, unless if you're coming out of a relationship, you need to heal. But if you have been single for 4 years, 3 years, and you're still waiting for a perfect time, that means that you have to be honest that I don't want to date. You have to say as it is. Or if you want to start your own business, or if you are at work and you want to get promotion, and you say, I need to do this first before I can apply for promotion. For me, I don't see that. I see it as an excuse. If you want a promotion, you learn the work. Once you learn the work, you do the work, learn the work, do the training. Once you do the training, you do your CV and you send it off. That person comes back to you and say you're not good enough. Does it mean you're not good enough? No. It does not mean that you are not good enough. It means that moment, that day, they didn't see what you see about yourself. So for me, I would say any audience that is watching, you wanna take action, go for it. Find your own voice and lead from within. And Ngozi Talk Shows, that's what we do. And I don't know, Carol Ann, do you have anything in mind that you want to share with our audience? For those who are like sitting and waiting for the perfect time. You may find
time, yes. What is the perfect time? And
you might find that there is some speakers, like they like Ngozi Talk Shows and they're watching Ngozi Talk Shows. They're like, one day I'm gonna message Ngozi Talk Shows and see if I can appear at Ngozi Talk Shows.
Yeah, and what would be the perfect time? Well, right now is the perfect time. But as you say, we keep putting it off because it's always an excuse. Well, no, that's not quite right. There's something not quite right about the time. There's something perhaps you don't feel quite right in yourself, or there's a lot of other things going on and you just think, nah, not quite right. There never will be a perfect time, a right time. You just have to make that decision and say, do I want it or not? Just as you were saying, Nomsa, you really have to be honest with yourself and say, do I really want this to happen? Do I really want this goal enough? You know, so it's just saying, yes, I want it. I'm going to make it happen and do something about it right now. I know that now is time. There's no other time more perfect than right now. And actually, there's a great twist. I just read something that Bruce Lee, a quote that he had. He said, a goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves as simply something to aim at. And by taking that step towards making that goal happen, it allows for something to get into motion. And it may be that that goal itself isn't meant to be reached, but there's something along the way that you learn as you're doing it. And it's more about learning about yourself as you take those steps than actually reaching the goal itself. It's the action taking. It's what comes up that blocks the way, that has you go, oh, do I really want this? Or this is another problem and there's hurdles to overcome. But it's overcoming those hurdles that makes you stronger. It helps define you more. You find resolve in yourself. You learn about yourself and you develop and evolve in different way. And then you may find that, no, that isn't the goal. There's a shift happens. Something else opens up and new goals happen. So what you really need to do is to sit down on a regular basis and review your goals. Look at where they're at, what have you accomplished towards them, and then create a plan so that you can take, what the actions are, those steps towards actually moving towards achieving it. So yeah, there is no perfect time and there never will be. So you need to get that myth out of your head to start with and recognize it's just you holding yourself back on it. Another one is waiting for more money. Will you ever have enough money? And so it's asking yourself, well, what can I do right now that doesn't require money or doesn't require that amount of money? There's always something you can do towards achieving a goal. It may be having a conversation with somebody. It may be writing something, a post about it, or an article, or just sitting and visioning the goal, writing down or drawing it out, getting clear on what that goal is, and creating a plan. There's always something you can do that doesn't rely on you having that money. And then if you get to a point where, okay, it needs some money that you don't have, then the question is, well, what actions can I take that will get me some money? Who can I ask? What can I do? How can I get some money in? What other things have I got that I could sell? What services have I got? What products have I got that I haven't been promoting that I could now promote? There's always ways, and it's just recognizing where you just go, oh, I haven't got enough money. And that's it. You stop. That's not going to help you achieve your goal. Just remember your goal is sitting, waiting for you to take the actions that are needed. And it's not about you sitting and waiting for the goal to do something. So there's never a perfect time. There's never, you may never have enough money, but you might have enough to move you forward, to do something that would bring in more money. There may be someone you can ask, some form of sponsorship you could get. There's a great place you can go to is look for mastermind meetings, where at a mastermind meeting, you have a group of people get together and you go into groups, and then you have an opportunity to share in that group what your issue is, what problem is, what it is you want some support with or some ideas about. And then the other people have an opportunity to share ideas with you. And it's amazing what can come out of that conversation. So look for a mastermind meeting somewhere, because again, it just takes one conversation and someone will say, well, I know, yeah, you could do this, or I know someone that could, or I might like to, they might like to join you on that venture. You don't know until you have that conversation and put it out there. So that's one thing you could do. Join some mastermind meetings, and there's plenty out there. And I know I go to one every month with I belong to a company called GTEx. I'm a member there. GTEx is growing together exponentially. And every month we have a mastermind meeting. And it's brilliant, because even if I haven't got a question and I've thought, oh, I haven't got anything to ask, there was one time I remember it was, well, have you got something that you'd like to run past us? And I thought, oh, well, I've got this idea I've been chewing over. So I shared it, and I got lots of feedback, which enabled me to stop chewing it over and take some actions to moving it forward. It's just like, wow. Yeah. So you don't need to chew it over yourself and keep it to yourself and think you've got to sort it all out yourself. Share it. So certainly, having that mastermind each month, that's what's kept me going and keeps me going. But also you hear other people's problems or things where they're stuck and ideas that come up, and you think, oh, that's an idea. It's something I would like to do, or I could do. So you get ideas that you could action yourself. So I'd certainly recommend attending a mastermind. Have you ever been to masterminds?
Yeah, my masterminds group, we were talking about this topic. Hi, Raina, how are you doing? And thank you for your support. We appreciate you and those who are watching us on LinkedIn and YouTube. We appreciate you guys. And Carol, I know we were talking about the mastermind group. I agree with you, because Nikki went to a mastermind group. So that was our topic on Wednesday. How important it is to actually join a good group and a tribe. And he said he went for 6 days. It was amazing. He said he had so much, there was so much information that people were sharing, and it says there were so many things that were going on, breakthroughs after breakthroughs. And, it says it was a place where no one is judging anyone. They're just there to actually share their stories and to help each other out. And I think it sounded really, really amazing. So if anyone is watching today and you are not in a mastermind group, please do join one. Make sure you join a good one as well, because there's lots of good groups out there. I belong to, I'm with John and Mixie and Miss, is it Miss? The Life Book. So I'm in their group, and I'm in the Millionaire Mind group as well. Which else? What else group? I'm in size group as well, and Shanda Samta's group as well. And I'm just the groups that I'm in, the people, they're so nice, and everyone is just like to share, and people just like to help each other out. You help each other with your goals as well. It's really like what you were saying, Carol Ann, that some people, they say they wait for money. There's never a right time when it comes to money. If you wait for money, you'll be waiting for a very, very long time. There's never ever the right time. It's like if those who want to start a business and they say, I don't have the money. If you write a business plan, you get startup loans up to 25,000, as long as your business plan makes sense. And find someone that can help you to write a business plan. But with the startup loans, you have to write it yourself, because I know there are some people that hire companies to write a business plan, because with startup loans, if you send your business plan off, they still want you to translate it with your mouth. They'll ask questions, and the explanation has to be as clear as is written. So that's why when I started my business, that's what I did. but I didn't take the whole 25,000. I took a half of it, and then when you are ready, you go and take another what is left. So when you apply for startup loan, you are guaranteed 25,000 if your business plan is approved, but you don't have to take it all in one go. So just write your business plan, because those are your goals that you want to reach. You don't need to hire someone. I know some people, they hire people to write them a business plan, and then the business end up not being successful, because when you write a business plan, you have to correct it. You go step by step correcting it. If you have someone that can help you, they correct it step by step by asking questions and trying to make you understand what the path that you are taking that moment. So it's very, very, very important that you do it yourself. Cash flow forecast as well, you do it yourself. Like Carol Ann says, if you put your mind to something, you can actually do it. As long as you have someone there that has done the cash flow forecast, all you got to do is the numbers, because they ask you questions, the numbers, that means you are designing it yourself. So it's very, very important. Promotion. Learn your work inside out. And when you see the promotion, just make sure you have the right training. And if you don't have the right training within that company, that means they already know you. So that means you turn up to work half an hour before and be the last one to leave. Just dedicate your life to learn more about your company, learn more about your work, show interest within the company, wanting to improve or ask questions. And when you do that, the person, the owner of the company, will want to work with you. No one wants to let good people go. So you actually call the shots. Whatever you do in life, you call the shots. Whatever you want to do, you want to study a coaching business, just do it. Don't go imitate Tony Robbins if you are a beginner. No, don't imitate Tony Robbins, because Tony Robbins never started that big. He started down there by doing other things. So you look at how he began. If you want to start, to look at how he began, his model, and then you copy that model. There are some people that they want to start their business, but then they copy people, the big people in business who have is well established, and then everything falls apart. Just model that model when they begin, and that's the model, that's the right one. The one that is on now, that's not the right one for you if you are starting, because he has team in every department. So you don't really want to end up having that one, products, different products. You want to focus on one thing, and then once you develop, then you can have different products. So that's what I've learned as I go along with my business, that you need to model people that are in your category, or if you're modeling these big people, model their beginning, not the now. Because
I think that's key, isn't it? It's model how they started.
Yeah.
Look at how they started. What did they do? What actions did they take? And model it, and also recognize what works for you and what doesn't, because their way of doing something may not work for you. Sorry. It might not feel comfortable, but then did it feel comfortable for them as they did it? You don't know what they went through taking the actions that they took. So again, I think you have to be really serious about, do you want this goal or not? But keep reviewing what you're doing. I think one of the things that you can really take on board is that they have a team. Okay, they've got a big team, but you could have a team in some form even if it's just one person that's supporting you. And it is about, you know, the sooner you get team, the better it is, because really what you need to be focusing on is doing what only you can do in your business. Anything else that anyone else can do is what you need to be outsourcing. So make a list of everything that could be outsourced, and make a list of everything that only you can do in your business. And there's a plan of, okay, just outsource a bit at a time. You don't need to outsource the whole lot, because again, you're in that phase of, I haven't got the money, I can't do that. Well, of course you haven't. But what could you outsource? You know, one thing that possibly you could afford, or there may be some exchange you could do with somebody that outsources that bit of work. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about being resourceful. And that's what you'll find all these people like Tony Robbins, Virgin Media, what's his name?
What's that? Richard
Branson. That's right. Yes. All of these people, they were resourceful. They came up against a challenge.
I like Brendan Bashar.
You know, they found a way around it, through it, over it. They got resourceful. And that's what it is. It's about being resourceful. So that's something that doesn't cost you anything. So find your resourcefulness. How can you be resourceful? And who can you partner up with to support you? So something else you can have is have an accountability buddy, somebody who holds you to account and that you meet regularly. And it's not about them just holding you to account. You're holding them to account as well. So you're sharing and you're working together and helping each other to achieve your goals. And so you're saying, okay, so what have you done? What do you set yourself to do? What have you done? And then, well, what can you now do to move forward? And it's not about dwelling on, well, what went wrong? I haven't done this, or making yourself wrong. It's just acknowledging what you have done. Reward yourself for making progress. And then actually say, well, how can I, what do I need to do to shift something if you haven't made the progress that you wanted to, if you haven't taken the actions that you said you were going to take? Explore that. What stopped you? Now, it could be something like fear of success. So transform that fear, but you need to acknowledge that it's there. It could be fear of failure. Both of them will stop you. And so it's about transforming that fear. Again, if you haven't got the tools, reach out. We've got tools that could support you in transforming that fear so that you could move forward. Or it may be that you know somebody that could support you with that, and you can support them in some other way. Again, it's about getting resourceful. Recognize what the hurdle is, what is the fear, and then making a plan to do something about it. And then action the plan. It's okay, making a plan is an action, but you then need to action the plan. So it's all about taking action, action, action. And allowing yourself rest. You know, it's not about keep going, keep going, keep going. I've got to keep going, keep going, keep going. You do need to have a break, because otherwise you're going to burn out. So within your action plan, plan in time for you, time for self-care, looking after yourself. And I know there's been talks on here about self-care, about putting yourself first, and how important that is. And it is important, because if you just you keep going and keep going and keep going, and then you just crash and burn, then nothing's going to happen with your goals, because no one else is going to drive them forward. So you really do need to look after yourself and make sure that you put self-care in that plan and give yourself the time, rest, time out, you know, whatever it is that you like to do, or have a hobby, something different, just takes your mind off it for a while and allows you to breathe. So yeah, look at what those spheres are, create your plan, action your plan, but in your plan, make sure you've got some self-care in there as well. So,
I actually agree with you, Carol Ann. You have to, when you say you recognize your fears, and also have an accountability partner to help you to achieve your goals. I think that's very, very important to have accountability partner. And a Lifebook, that's what they do, that you have to find the accountability partner, and then you have to, whatever the video or whatever the things that you do with them, there's a step-by-step. So you look at your life in so many ways, and health-wise, spirituality, business-wise, write your vision step by step. And you do all those things, but you have to find somebody, and also taking action. When you have an accountability partner, it helps you to actually get things done, because that person is gonna be on your back to actually check, have you done what you say you're going to do? So every week, like what I did with my accountability partner was Dr. Bigot, and so I had two. So every week I used to, when I was studying and working and doing the Lifebook, so every week I used to send them like an update, give them a task. This is what I'm doing. And if I hadn't completed the task on time, I would then go back as well and explain why I hadn't finished the task, and the plan, what action plan that I put in place to make sure that I finish that plan, or if it's an assignment, I finish the assignment. If it's work, interviews, clients, just make sure that I do what I say I will do. It's not easy at the beginning to actually be disciplined and getting things done, but once the habit is created, it happens naturally. And also what you're saying, Carol Ann, that you have to stop as well and take a break. It's very, very important to actually work, and then take a break and do other things that you are doing. But me, I'm doing activities of music, singing. It seems like it's a hard work as well. Honestly, I just like, it's like when I'm off work, like Saturdays, like we are booked till Christmas 6th. I think we're taking a break just before Christmas, so we are fully booked now until Christmas. So it means that we have gigs in the week, and then weekends, and but you have to learn music, you have to perform. So it's not an easy task, but it's a very, very fun, enjoyable task. If you enjoy music, so it is good. So I actually agree with you that money has nothing to do with creating goals. You can do things without money. The things that I do myself, even when I don't have the money, I just get on and I just do it. And some things you learn. YouTube is very, very good, really, really good. There are some things that I have learned on YouTube just by playing a video and just learning to do things. I optimize my videos myself, just I've learned it on YouTube. It's very, very easy to optimize videos, but it takes time. It's time consuming as well, but if you have the time, you can do it yourself. I've learned it, so it does help. Just getting on with things and doing things done. And even sometimes when somebody has done the video optimization, I just go in and double check if it's done properly, because I do have a software just to double check, and then I do it properly myself. Without complaining, because complaining is no good. It's nice to get things done, but without complaining. So I do that. So I agree with you, Carol Ann, that have an accountability partner and look into your fears. What do you fear? Why do you feel the way you feel? And then once you do that, work on your fears and work on the things that are holding you back. Or it could be simple. You need a little bit of skills. That's when you need to read books, you need to listen to audios. If you want to run your own business, or you want those high-end jobs, you're gonna need to be somebody who's very creative, somebody who loves reading, somebody who loves listening to audios, somebody who loves to do some research. That's what you got to do. And if you want to start your own business, you got to do some research. And if you do those researches, know your subject. I have someone that said to me, once you know your subject very, very well, you'll never go wrong with whatever you do in life. And helping your clients or helping people know your subject very, very well. That's very, very important. Over to you, Carol Ann. And before you say anything, Carol Ann, if anyone is watching right now and they don't know who you are and they would love to actually connect with you, could you please tell our audience who you are and where they can find you, please?
I'd love to. So yeah, I'm Carol Ann Cooper, and I'm a writing facilitator. And where you can find me is actually on Facebook and LinkedIn as Carol Ann Cooper. I also have a Facebook group, which is called Get Your Book Written. And the reason I have that Facebook group is because I'm about supporting people in getting their story written, getting their book written by unlocking the writer within. So I use different approach to actually supporting people with writing, because I believe everybody has that ability to write, and everybody has a story to share that would make a difference in someone else's life. And it just means going inside and unlocking that writer within. So that's what I do. That's what I love doing. And I say I love doing because it connects me with my love of actually supporting people in achieving something that they want to achieve. And it's recognizing where those limiting beliefs are, where that inner child is holding you back because something happened as a child that you made a decision and you went, I'm never doing that again. I'm no good. I can't do this. I'm not a writer. Or a fear of being judged about your writing crops up because of something that somebody said when you were younger. And it's about releasing all of that, going back to that inner child and saying, it's okay. I've got tools and techniques and resources that they've got access to. You know differently now. And so by releasing that and allowing that inner child to grow up inside of you with access to the resources that you've got and the skills that you've now got, enables you to be more expressive. It allows your writing to flow more freely. So that's just a tip of what I do. And I enjoy playing around with it. What I've realized is my goal is is to bring back play and playfulness into the game of writing, because I love playing, just playing with what it presents, playing with metaphors, what's there, and bringing it into how that is with your writing and transforming things, and so it's a so when it's obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. That's by Confucius. And I thought that's a great way to look at it. You don't always need to adjust the goal. It's okay, so what can I now do? And I keep coming back to that question. What can I now do? What could I do that I haven't yet done? And sometimes maybe the steps are too big to take. Break them down into smaller steps. Recognize where you're struggling. Get support. Somebody that actually, not necessarily so much an expert in that field, somebody that knows a lot about it, but is very good at supporting someone else in breaking through those barriers, actually getting you moving, taking the actions. Someone who is an expert in that field can help support you in a different way. So it's understanding what sort of help you need, where you're at, what you're stuck with. And so, yeah, you can find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and please do look up my Facebook group, Get Your Book Written. And if you're a bit stuck with your book, you don't know where to start, or you're looking and waiting for the right time to get writing, or you feel that you have to focus on your business first to get your business moving, consider the fact that maybe writing your story is the one thing that will get your business moving, that will improve your business. Is that one thing that you actually need to do? Because that's what I believe. It's your story. It's writing your story that helps people to get to know you and know what you're about, and so can then connect with your business and want to do business with you. So yeah, where am I at? Where did I go? What did I do? I don't know. I'm stuck. And that's the story. I'm stuck. Am I really stuck? Is it a story you're telling yourself? Rewrite the story. You cannot expect to achieve new goals or move beyond your present circumstances unless you change, says Les Brown. And we were talking the other week about change your thoughts, change your circumstances. Something has to change within you for you to then be able to achieve what it is you set yourself out to do. And for me, when I set a goal of doing a writing retreat, an in-person writing retreat, 5 days, it took a couple of years for actually to actually come to fruition. Because when I first set the goal and set a date, I shared it with somebody, they supported me, they got excited. I had somebody sign up straight away to it. I had someone else make a suggestion and help me find a venue. And so we booked the venue, got a date, and then lockdown happened. That was 2020. That first date was May 2020. I changed it, I had to change the date. It became September 2020. Again, by the time we got to September, nothing was, we were still back in lockdown again. So I changed it to the following May 2021. And then at that point, I wasn't, I hadn't been well. They weren't sure about if they could accommodate the number of people in the venue, because of the rules around having people with the number of bathrooms that they had, and people sharing rooms because of because of COVID. So again, I put it back for another year. So it was meant to be May 2022, earlier on this year. I got to May to about March time, and I was not well, and I hadn't got anyone else signed on. I still had that one person, but I kept adjusting my goal. I still had that goal. I was going to run it, but it was like, what are my actions? What can I do? So I changed the date again, October this year. We got to August, is that August time, and the venue cancelled. It was like, it's a test and a test and a test. And it got to the point where I was asking myself, do I really want to run this retreat? I made that decision. It was what I wanted to do. So it was like, well, what can I now do? I started taking different actions and got some more people on the retreat. The retreat happened this time. So again, it's not about changing the goal, but it is about changing your actions, shifting things, but also you changing. I was doing lots of processes on myself to shift what was coming up that was having me get blocked and having to keep putting this off all the time, until all of a sudden it's happened, you know. But I've grown through that process, and the excitement and the joy of having run it, and while I was running it, what they got from that retreat, the experience that they got. And because I realized one of my fears was, this isn't going to be like anyone else's. So will they enjoy it? Will they want to do it? Well, so what? It's mine. It's the way it's what I do. It's how I do it. It's my retreat. This is how I run it. And once I got comfortable with that, everyone else got comfortable with that and settled in and played the game, played what we were doing, played full out. And really, there was one lady, she got and reconnected with the joy of writing that she'd lost. She completely lost the joy of writing. She reconnected with that. And that's like, wow, it's exciting, you know, when somebody can reconnect with that. Someone else was able to tell her truth, which she hasn't been able to share. And someone else was able to write from the emotional aspects of her story that she hadn't been able to do before. So all of these changes were happening in that environment, you know. And once it happened, it's like, okay, so what's next? And I know I was in a bit of a lull afterwards, and I sort of kept myself, but it's okay, what's next? And I'm now sitting and reviewing and going, right, okay, what's next? I will do another retreat next year, because there's a lot of people who said, well, they couldn't do this year, but they'd like to do one if I do one next year. So let's do it again, you know, let's put it on and see. That there are other things that I'm going to be putting on, but it's the constantly just setting another goal. What's next? But if you don't set a goal, then you've got nothing to aim for, and life can be a little bit mundane. Does it enable your life to feel exciting or like you want to live for something? I believe you need to have goals to keep you going, something to aim for. And yeah, what do you think, Nomsa?
I actually agree with you, Carol Anna. When you want to do something, the fear will be there and the struggles will be there. You just have to recognize your strength and your weaknesses, and get help wherever you need help. It's like we are here at Ngozi Talk Shows, and you were arranging your retreat, and you've never done it before. It was your first time, and obviously there was that fear. But what we did, because we are at Ngozi Talk Shows, like to hold each other accountable, was to keep asking questions. When is the retreat? Where's the link? And they'll be like, oh, I postponed it. I'm like, oh, right. I know I used to come here and I'll be like, where's the link, Carol? And you'll be like, no, it's coming, but for now, I've put it on hold. I'll be like, you push someone, it puts them off, just keep asking questions until they're like, oh, Nomsa is going to ask me questions today. Let me look at my retreat and just push myself. And just one day you came and you were like, it's happening. I'm doing it. I'm taking action. And that's why you can ask for just to take action and having that courage to actually do the things that you love to do. And because creating your life framework is very, very, very important. And no one can do it for you. When you want to do something, you want to create your goals, no one can actually take action or put action or push you for you. You're just gonna have to do it. And if there is fear, like Carol Ann is saying, recognize your struggles. Just recognize your fears and say, this is where I need help, and ask people to help you. And there's always people out there who are willing to support you, who are willing to help you, but don't let people affirm what you can do. Don't be like that person that asks people questions, wanting people to actually, when people give you a negative attitude, then it means you're not good enough. When they give you a positive attitude, it means you're good enough. It's the other way around. Or the other way around, even if they give you negative attitude, you still go for your goals and achieve them, because you don't know the outcome. And also the thing that makes people not to take any action is we want that reassurance. If I do this, is it going to succeed? We want to know the results before we begin. And once we feel comfortable, we feel, yes, we can do, the results are positive. But guess what? You wouldn't know the results until you actually do it. Even when you hire a coach, there is no guarantee that the business is going to succeed, but there is a guarantee that you are going to take action and you are going to get to where you need to go. When you fall, you're going to pick yourself up and just get on with things that your goals, and write your goals and hold yourself accountable. And also success is, when you find success, is doing the work. When you do the work, people say fake it till you make it. I say, I don't think that is right. Fake it till you make it. Like when you're faking it, just do your work. Do your work. Like here at Ngozi Talk Shows, it has been a struggle starting a talk show or Facebook Live. It's not easy to win people, the audience, to actually follow you. But it doesn't matter. If you are somebody who wants to start your YouTube channel, all you need is your mobile phone as your camera, and just start your channel. Once you develop, and then you can buy other equipment. Don't just wait until you have the money. Like Carol Ann is saying, apparently I'm going to wait until I have the money. This moment I don't have the money, so that means I'm not going to start my goals. My goals, you can wait. I'll still say good morning to you in the morning and say good afternoon and good evening, and now go to sleep. Just get on with it. That's the answer that I can give you. That if you want to do something, you just do your goals. We did the summit, and we're going to do more summit next year as well. I wanted to do it in December, but I thought this time, I think we need to give ourselves a lot of time, and just so we can market the events. And now we're gonna have access to the website as well, Nkosi Talk Show's website. So in that WordPress, we can have access to build our own. Within the website, we can build our own events as well. Like last time, because we didn't know what to do, and it was too much. So, but now at least we know we have facilities that we can do and run events. So that is good. So if anyone is watching, please just go for your goals. Don't wait or question yourself whether am I going to succeed? Am I not going to succeed? Just take action. You never know until you take that action. And also, don't let people affirm your destination. Only God can affirm your destination. Only God can hold your hands. I've learned this the hard way, that when you trust in the flesh, you get disappointed. Trust people, believe in people, but don't let them affirm that we can take you to where you need to go. What if one day they're busy? So that means you'll be disappointed and start getting angry with them that they didn't turn up on this. No, they still love you. So just do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Set a goal, but you need to have a clear reason for that goal, because otherwise it's not going to happen. There needs to be a clear reason.
Yeah.
At what Johann Wolfgang von Goethe says, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. So it is about taking those actions. It's knowing what you want, being, yes, I want to do it, but take the actions, as we've said. The other thing is, Jill Koenig says, if a goal is worth having, it's worth blocking out the time in your day-to-day life necessary to achieve it. So create your plan, but put the steps in your calendar the actions, put them in your diary, put them in your schedule, set aside time to do it. So set aside time for writing your book or your story. Set aside time for doing whatever those actions are that you've got in your action plan towards getting your goal. Otherwise, they may happen, they may not. It's a little bit hit and miss. But if you can put them in, set aside time, that shows that you're serious about doing it. And the universe will then support you because you're showing that you're serious. So set aside that time, do your plan, take the actions, but have fun, enjoy it. Don't let it become a drudge, because then you'll lose the desire. Keep that playfulness in there. Keep sight of, well, why is this important? What is it about this goal that's important to you? Why do you need to achieve it? What purpose has it got in your life? And really understand that, because that will help drive you forward with it and keep you going, especially when the going gets tough. And I love that song from years ago, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So just remember that, and I'll leave you with that. You're muted.
The tough gets going. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. And for me, if anyone is scared of taking action and applying for that job that you want, that promotion that you want, or starting your own business, just ask yourself, what will it be when you die and your creator shows you who you would have been? And how would that make you feel? And also, people, how are they going to remember you? Because somebody has to remember you. So if you are someone who has got a talent, and I just believe that everyone is talented on earth, we just don't believe in ourselves. But I believe that everybody has that unique talent. There are some people that are very, very, very talented, that you speak to them, they're not doing anything about their talent. So just be that person that is doing something. Do something about your life. And if you have these goals that you always wanted to do, and you're wondering, like you're putting them like, maybe tomorrow, just get in touch at Ngozi Talk Shows, and we will help you to find your own voice. I am who I am today because someone else helped me to find my own voice and lead from within. I create my own life. I do the things that I want to do. If I don't do it, no one is gonna do it. I was telling Angie the other day, yesterday, and saying I've not done the content for the website. And I know that once I do it, it takes me one day. Once I do the content, it takes me one day. So I've not done it because I need to see the layout of what is needed there, so I can, because we have to upload it ourselves. So, but I can do it. It's like, once I know this is what I need to do, I just type it in my head, because I've just done your challenge. And every time we come at Ngozi Talk Show, Carol Ann always challenges me to do things. And there are some other speakers as well. They always, I think it's because I'm with you twice a week. And also when we speak, and you always talk about take action. And if you don't do it, no one is going to do it for you. And that's what I need at Ngozi Talk Shows. Even myself, I get ideas from other coaches. So if you want to take your action, I just have one thing, just get on with it. My family, in my family, we're best friend. My family, we are bloodline, and we are friends. We are family, friends by choice. But when it comes to making decisions, I do it myself. I never ever let people tell me that I'm not good enough on doing things. I just make my own decision and just do it. And this, my father taught me to be the person that I am today, and my stepfather. My stepfather used to sit there and preach what happens if you don't do your goals, if you don't succeed. And I'll be like, can't you tell me something that is exciting as a father? Tell me that. So it's just exciting. Life is exciting when you make it exciting. So just get on with your goals. And it's nice to be creative, isn't it, Carol Ann? Yeah, it's really nice. When you get creative, it means your mind works. And reward yourself with something like take a break. Once you complete your goals, take a break. So that's what I do. We are here at Ngozi Talk Shows, guys. If you're watching it, Ngozi Talk Shows page, please give some stars. You know, I always talk about stars. Give us some stars, and those stars will help us reach more people in our community. And live with grace, everyone. We'll see you on Monday, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. God bless.
God bless.